Hi everyone, welcome back to Let's Discuss. I want to start today's episode with a bit of a confession. My last episode, it was a bit of a flop. I tried using an AI generator for the speech, but you guys were loud and clear. You want to hear my voice, so here it is. No filters, no algorithms, just me. I hope this is a lot more pleasant to your ears than the robot was. Thank you for sticking with me. Now let's get into it. Today, we are diving into a topic that is sparking a lot of fire in the professional world, the silence couch. The big question is, should psychology be political? For a long time, the ideal psychologist was a blank slate, a neutral mirror, someone who sat in a chair, listened, and never shared their view on the world outside the clinic. The rule was simple. Healing happens inside. Politics happens outside. But as the world feels like it's fracturing, we have to ask, is being neutral in the face of injustice an act of balance? Or is it an act of complicity? On one hand, you have the traditionalists. They say the therapy room must be a sanctuary. If a therapist becomes a political activist, they might alienate the very people who need help. They argue that psychology should be a pure science, focused only on the individual. But then there's the other side, liberation psychology. This perspective argues that neutrality is a lie. Think about it. If a person is struggling with anxiety or depression because they live in a system that dehumanizes them or treats them like a resource rather than a human being, how can a therapist ignore that? Treating the brain chemistry without addressing the systemic poison is like trying to heal a wound while the knife is still in it. When we see human rights being eroded or power being used to exploit the vulnerable, psychology has a choice. Do we just help people cope with a broken world so they can go back to being exploited? Or do we stand up as advocates for the human spirit? I believe silence is a political choice. To say nothing while the world burns is to support the status quo. If psychology is the study of human well-being, then it must fight for the rights that make well-being possible. So I leave you with this. If your house is on fire, do you want a therapist who helps you stay calm while you burn? Or do you want one who helps you find the strength to put out the fire? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Reach out to me. And let's keep the conversation going, in my real voice, of course. I'm so glad to be back here, speaking with you directly. It feels right. So, if this episode resonated with you, or even if it challenged you, I want to hear about it. Let's make this a real dialogue. If you like what we're doing here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment and like. It helps the channel more than you know. And if you really want to support the journey, send a cheer. Every bit of support allows me to keep this podcast independent and keep these conversations honest. Thank you for listening to my real voice today. This was Let's Discuss. Stay curious, stay human. And I'll catch you in the next one.